Hello, my name is Alan Reeves and I'm with Molding Graphic Systems. Today I'd like to talk to you about our 5th generation graphic, the MIG-5. Today we're going to talk about how to successfully apply it to your mold, storage and handling techniques, and some other tips that are going to help make your application of the graphic successful. First thing I'd like to talk to you about is storage and handling and what you can expect when you receive your package of graphics. First thing I'd like to talk to you about with the MIG-5 is storage and handling. You're going to receive your graphics in a box similar to this. When you receive them, you want to visually examine the box and make sure that there's no signs of damage to it. Go ahead and open the box and then remove the graphics from inside. They're going to come in a package similar to this with a cover top and bottom. You want to go ahead and open this package in a clean office environment. You want to inspect the first few graphics. Be sure that they are damage free. Once you've done this, we strongly recommend that you transfer the graphics over to a separate storage container. We recommend something like this, a clear plastic box with a lid. You can easily identify your graphic inside of it, and the lid keeps the graphics free from dirt and debris and damage so that they'll be ready to be handled later. At this point, you're ready to go out and apply some graphics to the mold, but you'll need a couple additional tools. We want you to use the MIG-5 burnishing pad, and you also may need the MIG-5 graphic removal scraper. Once you've ensured that you have these tools, the next step, you're ready to go out to the mold and actually apply a graphic to it. As you can see, we have 2 burnishing pads here. We have the new green MIG-5 burnishing pad, and we have the older orange burnishing pad that we used with the RTM and HTM graphics. It's very important that you only use the green MIG-5 burnishing pad with the MIG-5 graphic. The reason for this is that the bead pattern is much tighter on the MIG-5 pad than it is on the older style pad. And this is important because it's going to help remove air from underneath the MIG-5 graphic as you burnish it much more efficiently. So if you do not have a MIG-5 green burnishing pad, stop and make sure you obtain one before you move forward for the best results with your graphic. Now that we've ensured that you have the correct burnishing pad for the MIG-5 application, you want to double check the mold and make sure that there's no leftover adhesive residue from a previous application. As you can see, this mold is clean and free of adhesive and ready for a MIG-5 graphic. If there is adhesive left over from the previous graphic, please refer to our tips and troubleshooting video so that you can learn how to properly clean and prepare the surface for the next application. At this point, remove the MIG-5 graphic from the storage container and bring it to the mold surface. Now that we have the graphic on the mold ready to go, first step is to take the edge of the carrier sheet and crease it. This is going to help get the carrier sheet off the back of the graphic once the transfer is done. You can slide this graphic and position it along the mold without transferring it. So I'd like to demonstrate as you move this graphic along, lightly moving it along, it will not transfer. You'll move it to the position that you desire to transfer it, and you'll stop. At this point, we want to lightly secure the graphic down to the mold so it quits sliding. We use the tips of our fingers just to work gently along that. And that'll hold the graphic down long enough for you to do the transfer process. And at this point, we're going to move on with the burnishing pad and actually demonstrate the proper burnishing technique. Now that we have the graphic lightly secured to the mold surface, it's time to burnish. With your MIG-5 style burnishing pad, you want to hold the pad at a slight angle and a slight bend with 2 fingers behind the front of the pad. Apply enough pressure to the front of the pad that you get a slight change of color in your fingertips. This is going to ensure that you get maximum pressure right at the point that you're actually doing the burnishing. Now the correct motion to burnish down a MIG-5 is in a linear fashion. And what I mean by that is moving in straight lines from the inside of the graphic to the outer portion of the graphic. We want to start in the middle and work our way out in a linear line fashion. Then we want to come back to the middle and we want to work out in the opposite direction in a linear line fashion. This will force the air to the outside and outer portion of the graphic and out. What we want to avoid is moving the burnishing pad in any circular motion whatsoever. This is going to tend to trap air towards the center of the graphic and make it very difficult to remove. The last step after you've burnished out to the side in the linear fashion, we want to finish on the edges. And what I mean by that is just come out around the edge of the graphic and in a straight line, just make sure that all of those edges are secured down so that you don't get any foldovers during the molding operation. A good visual indicator while you're burnishing to make sure that the graphic is transferring properly is to watch as you're burnishing, and you'll see that the graphic will change color just slightly in the areas that you've burnished, and this indicates that it's transferring to the mold surface. As you can see in the areas that I've burnished, graphic color appears just slightly lighter than in the areas that I have not burnished. This is a good visual cue for you to watch for as you're burnishing to make sure that the graphic is transferring correctly. Now we'll demonstrate the application in real time. At the end, peel the carrier sheet back, remove it from the mold, and the graphic is transferred. Now we have the finished part, and as you can see, the MIG-5 graphic is perfect, free of surface defects and all the edges intact. If you follow the steps in the video each and every time, you'll get a successful graphic application and finished part every time. If you're not having success, please go back and refer to the video carefully and make sure that you're following the steps correctly. If you have any more questions, please call Molding Graphics customer service representative or refer to the training videos. Thank you.